So this is going to cover all of the material on the front and back side of that page that we talked about doing. And the first thing, we're going to do some open strings with the hammer-on pull-offs. We're going to work on having that nice even triplet the whole time. The idea with this is hopefully with the open strings being played in an even triplet, that will carry over into the hammer-on pull-offs. So here is the first thing we got. Alright, same idea with the next one, and I started using some repeat bars to save some room. So that's, I don't know if we've gone over that or if you know it, but that second bar, you have the two dots and then the line in between. That means play the previous bar. So here we go. Same idea for the next one, just changing strings again. Next one, continuing with our triplet feel with the hammer-ons and pull-offs, but using some open strings this time. So here's how this one goes. Okay, now on to some rhythm stuff. Got two new backing tracks to use. So I'll play without the backing track first. So I used a different ending, or two different endings for the last bar. So if you, well, in case you don't know what that means, so you're looking at the tab. You see bar number 4 has a bracket above it with a 1 at the beginning of it. That means you play that bar the first time through, and as you do the repeat, you skip that bar, the one I just mentioned with the bracket, and you skip over to the one that has a partial bracket that says 2 under it. That means you play that bar the second time through. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully listening to it will clear up any confusion, if there is any. So, here's what we have. Now let's use the track. Actually, okay. Let me make sure that's loud enough. Here we go, for real this time. to the next one. So, no slap and pop this time. Got a little bit of slide though, so if you're looking at the page, you're still following the rhythm of 1 and 2, 3, 4 the whole time. But you got that little slide on beat number 3, so treat that as a grace note. So as soon as you hit that 5, you're going to slide up into the 7. So you got 1 and 2, 3, 4. So 1 and 2, 3, 4. So that's the idea happening on every bar. So it sounds something like this. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 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 Now with the track. Slide at the end there was not the best. Okay, and then a bit of a walking bass line to finish out this particular backing track. So without the track, still following the 1 and 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness, I just noticed I wrote down a note different than I intended. Let me go ahead and fix that now and rescan this page. Whoops. Alright, here we go. So, we got 1 and 2, 3, 4. 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 And now with the track. Pop optional. Okay, so this is where we move on to the next backing track, and we got the rhythm of 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So without the track, we have. Now with the track. Alright, so this next one, thought it had a cool sound to it. Definitely a bit more challenging than any of the slap and pop stuff we've done so far. So you have a rhythm, still same backing track, but we're going to go 1 and a 2, 3 and a 4, 1 and a 2, 3 and a 4. So got a percussive hit in between a couple notes there. So we have, and I'm also using 2 different fingers for popping on this. It felt comfortable. So I'm doing your slap, pop, slap, pop. So 1, let's see, trying to do this slow. 1 and a 2. 1 and a 2, 3 and a 4. And I'm basically basically going back to the same note, but I notice when I'm going quickly, it sounds more percussive than the actual note, so I'm just worried about making a percussive hit. And actually there, I'm not even hitting the note, so let's make it more percussive instead of actually going back to a note. So we got 1, 2, not 1, 2, 1, and a 2, 3, and a 4. 1, and a 2, 3, and a 4. 1, and a 2, 3, and a 4. 1, and 2, 3, and 4. So a little bit quicker. Now with the track. And that's that. And ending the slapping and pop. So we're doing some interval stuff here. We'll be getting into more interval stuff together, and I'll explain what all that stuff is more as we do the theory. But here's the next bass line, Sans track. So we got 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 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 With track. And the final one, bit of a walking bass line, following the same intervals pretty much from each root note, still following the same rhythm of 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So, without the back track, got 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 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 It's kind of a fun one to play. Here we go with the track. No, I goofed it. I goofed it. Take 2. There we go. So, hopefully this is enough work to keep you busy. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. And I will see you tomorrow, because today is Friday, and I finally finished this stuff, and we got a lesson tomorrow.